Right, here we've got the Forgeworld Mega Bomber. So let's pop this open and take a look. So that's 2 boxes of resin parts, 1 instruction booklet with the stats on the back. These have already been shown on Warhammer Community, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at them now. A general Forgeworld resin kit building and checklist thing, which just tells you that you might need saws and pin vices and tweezers and sculpting tools and modelling files and clippers and razor saws, which seems a bit expert modeller level. So let's have a look at the quality of what you get. So you've got this extra tall stand. Let's compare that to the stands for standard aircraft. That is pretty much twice the height of the stand for, because that, yeah, that's twice the height of the stand for the smaller stand, and still significantly taller than the bigger stand. Right, we've got a wing, we've got another wing, we've got a body, we've got a tail, we've got an Aeronautica base, set of engines, that's obviously fallen off there, and that looks okay. Not sure what those bits are. So the first box seems to be the larger pieces. The second box is sealed with tape, so let's cut that. Okay, so we have, this appears to be big bombs. This is tail parts. That's a rocket. That's even more ordnance. More tail parts. Okay, those are ordnance slots. Those are obviously wing parts. Tracks for the bottom of the vehicle. A gigantic mega bomb. More wing pieces. Probably more wing pieces. The rear engines. Turret pieces. I think those are tail pieces. These appear to be connection bits that are probably going to take a bit of doing because you've got all the resin there filled in. More turret pieces. That looks like it might be some more turret pieces. Small rockets and bits of turret. And one last rocket piece. So that gives you an idea of how many pieces this is. I do not think this is a beginner's kit. I do not think that for very obvious reasons. Certainly there's bits where you've got to cut the resin away. If you look at the instructions, this is what it looks like built. So you can see where some of these turret pieces go, but you can see in the resin you've got it filled in here, and you've got to get rid of those pieces. As with here, as with here, as with here. So you've got these bits here where you've got to get rid of the resin in the middle, and then you've got these guns fitting through. So anything that requires you to remove shims is going to be a bit complicated. So let's so yes, it looks like, so building this, the main fuselage is going to go together quite easily, but then immediately you've got the side big shooters where you've got to remove a shim in order to fit that on. You've then got the engine sections and the wing sections and the wing tips and the wing turrets. So you've got to do 2 lots of those. And then those join onto the body. So I think you're probably going to be doing those as sub-assemblies. You've got the flak turret, again, sub-assembly. You've got the tail big shooter, lower port wing connecting the body and the wing together, the undercarriage, the tail wheel. Aha! So these are all tail wheels for various bits of the plane. So you could conceivably leave those off, but again you've got shims to remove. So you've got big bombs and you've got rockets. So the big bombs are pretty impressive. So this 3 bombs strapped together is a big bomb, as are these, which are also big bombs. So those look real good. You've got the mega bomb, which is this, again, to be painted as a sub-assembly separately. And then that's it, that's every stage. So there are a lot of pieces to this. There's going to be a lot of cleanup, and because it's a Forgeworld resin model, it needs to be soaked in warm soapy water before assembly. But I'm going to zoom in and give you a view of some of the detail. So you can see here the casting quality. So it does look quite good. There's going to be some cleanup. There's a little bit of mould slippage in places. But as I go through this, because it's Orcs, you can get away with a bit of mould slippage here and there. But there doesn't appear to be a terrible amount of stuff that needs tidying. I think you're probably going to want to do the engines as their own sub-assembly, and the wings and the body as a sub-assembly, and then all the turrets as sub-assemblies. I think you may well want to do exactly the same with all of the bombs, because then you can stick them on later and they will not obstruct the model while you're painting it. So you've got a lot of ordnance that's going to go separate. You've got a bunch of engines to go separate, but that'll let you do spray undercoats, so red or blue or yellow or whatever on the panels, and a black undercoat on the engines. So looking at this, this is a really impressive and large model, and you can see the detail on it, all the millions of rivets for you to pick out individually. The detail on these turrets. I would not necessarily say this is a beginner's model due to the number of pieces involved. Because you're going to be cutting out shims and things like that, I'd say it's probably an intermediate level resin model. It's not a Warlord Titan, it's not the Eldar Phantom Titan or the Eldar Scout Titan that you need to put brass rods in the legs. It's not the 40k Avenger where the cast as it is just doesn't seem to fit together. When you're getting this, this is going to be a centerpiece model. Do it in sub-assemblies. That'll let you get to all the detail, except this is a project that's going to last you a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 or 4, and be patient with it. So I'm going to do sub-assemblies. I might pin a few pieces, but I think everything looks like it's got sections that will slot into each other and it won't need to be pinned. But be patient, enjoy the detail on it, and enjoy the sheer amount of stuff there is to do with it. But This will be a centrepiece model that you use not all the time in your games, but it'll be fun to get out to be the objective for the game, in the same way that you might do a Sky Fortress game or you might do a bombing run. The objective for the Imperials is to shoot down the Mega Bomber. So they want to get close, drive off the escorts or shoot them down, and then take the Mega Bomber to bits. Or you've got to hit an Imperial target and you take this as your bomber, because it can absolutely flatten anything with the sheer amount of firepower it's got. So you could drop something like 34 dice of bombs in one go. So that will take out any ground target in the game, considering you're damaging on 2+ with all of those dice and doing extra damage on 4+. But yeah, I like the look of this. I will do a build video and show you the sub-assemblies that I do. But yeah, for the first Forgeworld super heavy plane, it is quite impressive, but also quite challenging. If you've liked this video, hit like and subscribe. If you want to chat, leave a comment below. But otherwise, good gaming.